Well, you won an outlaw race. How does it feel?
Good. Yeah, better than what I expected it to be. Yeah, I mean, it's special to say the least. To be, I would say the best guys on dirt in the world, and but still at a loss for words.
Right. Well, and the format was very weird. We're hearing a bunch of different opinions.
Yeah.
And you weren't necessarily a guy who was slow in qualifying or anything.
No, we were okay in our group. And really, we felt like we needed to improve really a lot on it. And then had a really good heat race and needed to swing even more. And then the track work and I feel like we swung hard enough to get the car tighter. And I feel like it helped a lot and played in our favor. Could kind of maneuver and was versatile and could pick cars off pretty quick in traffic, which, with these guys, if you hesitate for 1 second, they're on you or past you. So, James got by me about midway, I think it was, and then, I started running the top harder and got by him, and then found the rubber about 5-10 laps later. Just knew I needed to put lappers between me and him as fast as I could, and I felt like that would win me the race, and finally it did.
So in the heat race, it seems, unlike, King's Roll and stuff, they have this kind of format where you get put in the back after your good qualifying run. Is it just a little bit different here? Do you think your California short track skills kind of helped you make those quick attack moves where it seems like other guys kind of struggle to make moves quick and pass the car when you got an opportunity? Because it seems like that heat race is really what set you up to be in the position where you were in the A, unlike you had Donnie and Brad and them back in the field.
Yeah, I want to say I heard that last lap pass, I think, was the difference of 13th in points to 3rd in points. So that's how close it is. And, I guess I would say I credit it a little bit to racing out west, but then, the midget racing has taught me, it's a different kind of aggression. I feel like I don't want to say I charge the corner harder, but I feel like I run, as hard as I can, as much as I can without making, any mistakes. And, I feel like, we've gotten our car really good where I can maneuver and be different and still keep air in my wing, which is important. And, put them away quick, when you slide them, and they never cross me under, which was huge too.
Right. So, obviously you're mentioning driving all these different cars. When you drive the midget, you go to the sprint car. Does it help you with your kind of feel for how much space you have on the track too? Going from that smaller car to the bigger car, you can kind of see where you can fit a little bit more. Do you see holes opening before they come?
Honestly, I don't know. Those two cars, I feel like I've ran the most in my career, so I feel the most comfortable in them. And I feel like there isn't really, I don't know how to say it. I feel like I don't really miss a beat going from one to the other just because I ran them so often. But I feel like the sprint cars has made me a good midget racer, and then the aggression in the midget level I feel like has kept me good in a wing car now that I get to run in wing sprint cars more often again.
Which neither help run the truck. But
that's a completely different animal. I mean, you're going from 1,400 pounds to 3,500 pounds, and the whole thing's just different. But no, I get to drive a lot of great race cars this year. We get to run a Silver Crown car, and non-wing sprint car, pavement midget, late models, truck, and I just get to drive a lot of really good race cars.
Well, and this is relatively a new team. It's the Crouch family, I believe, putting this whole thing together.
Leighton Crouch and Bernie Stubden, they put it together.
It seems like it's been a little bit of a struggle too, because this car, it was about a month ago when you were in it. It definitely didn't look like it was this fast. It looks like it's came a long way in a hurry.
Yeah, it has been a struggle at times. I mean, we won a few months ago, and then we got fast. We ran for the Speed Week show at Sharon, and we were good yesterday, and so we finally got things clicking. But Bernie unfortunately hasn't been able to make it to all the races either. So we don't have Bernie to rely on all the time. So Brad, Blade, and I have been trying to figure it out ourselves.
And he was on the Shots crew last year?
Brad was the car chief for Donnie for a couple of years, maybe.
Right. So that helps bring in that kind of mind.
Brad is extremely smart, and Blade does a really good job on tires. And, we all work really good together. But, it's, I don't want to say it's all a struggle, but it's tough, not having, the crew chief, the third guy come to the races all the time. So that doesn't help either.
Right, like I'm really high on like Orion Timms and all that, and you know, you can have all the funding that you can want, but the mind is so important.
Yeah, it don't
especially
matter
on this
unless you
outlaw
have
level.
Everyone meshed well together and everyone working good, and cars got to be consistently fast. And I feel like we finally got some of that. So, but yeah, it is a new team. I mean, this car's probably been ran probably 8 or 10 times this year. That's it.
Right. So you just got through with the Knoxville race. They talked about you a lot. I even made a video how they talked about you more than Tyler Carpenter. But here's the deal. What is the Asphalt future with you over there? Is that a situation where Toyota, I'm assuming, is helping you do things, and then do you have to bring your own stuff along with it, or do you have to convince people to get on board with you and what they want to do with you? Is it a big struggle not having a big personal financial backing?
It's all
because you don't really have much of a personal financial backing. You have a bunch of investors. Is that the harder part? Is trying to convince?
Even say that.
Or I've people who believe in you, whatever you want to call it.
Well, yeah, but it's so the truck stuff and the midget stuff, even my late model stuff, is all Toyota and Mobile One. So it's all Toyota being in their program.
And Mobile One's an associate.
Mobile One's their partners, like Safelite is in JBL, and all those partners are all together with Toyota, and Mobile One is one of them, and I get to represent Mobile One. But it is all them, and then obviously, if basically in simple terms, if you win, they put you in, they move you up. As long as you keep winning, they'll keep moving you up. So I've always wanted to go to NASCAR, and that's been my goal for, I don't know, 15 years since I started racing. And I get to run late models now, and hopefully, if that keeps going good, if I can win in that, and they put me in the truck, and we had some speed there, had some unfortunate stuff from Bristol, and then we were just way too tight at Knoxville. We kind of underestimated it, but
the vehicle seems to be very dependent in that you can't really rely on you.
In stock cars, it's very car dependent. Even really on the dirt too. Where in like the midgets and the wing cars, in some cases you can kind of get away with with the driver making up for it, but it's harder on the pavement stuff, especially. But yeah, I don't know. Just gotta. You're almost kind of
It seems like you're almost kind of riding in those cars, not really driving them. Like you can only do so much with it. Whereas in the dirt stuff,
the late models, like you still gotta hustle them. Like the late models, they're I don't want to say they're light, but they're 2,700 pounds.
Right.
And they still got some decent horsepower, so you got to hustle them.
But if it's too loose, you can only go so far before it's gone.
Yeah, if you're loose, you're at your wit's end.
And if it's too tight, you can't get in the throttle as early as you need to. So that's kind of what I mean by riding.
Yeah, it depends. It's it's a lot of give and take, and tire wear is huge in that stuff.
So, what do you want to say to Joe Von Schriltz? We know he's crying at this point. Because he believed in you a lot,
Yeah,
so.
I talked to Joe, I talk to him every so often, and he's a big baseball card collector now, so we talk about that every so often. But no, hopefully he's watching, and hopefully he got to watch that race, and hopefully see him.
This is how we ride, this is how we do, ride mud slide.